understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender.
Hulk, go smash.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
Here's Johnny.
21 gigawatts!
Hey, motherfucker.
You never go ass to mouth.
Now what is so damn funny?
And here we go.
We will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight.
The Force will be with you. Always.
But the truth! You can't handle the truth! Showtime, everybody! Showtime!
What's up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome to episode 18 of the Fanboys Anonymous Movie Club. Yes, we're changing it up a little bit here. It's no longer the For Real Movie Club because we decided that we want to make this a little bit more flexible. But we're still going to do 4 movies this month, so it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Nonetheless, from now on, it is going to be referred to as the Fanboys Anonymous Movie Club, and that means that we're going to be able to do some different episodes where we decide to do maybe 3, maybe we'll do 5, maybe we'll do 10, maybe we'll just do 2. Depends on how long these movies are, and it depends on the subject matter and all that other kind of stuff. But before we get into an explanation of what we're talking about for today, I need to just go around the table here and introduce everybody. You're listening right now to the host of the panel, Tony Mango. Hello, everybody. I am Tony Mango, and I am joined by Chris, the Dace Man. Dace.
Hi, everybody. It's fantastic. I get to drink since I'm not hosting.
Let me just take a drink here. All right. I'm gonna drink anyway. Fuck those rules.
I'm drinking alcohol. It's going to be a fun one, guys.
I'm drinking Powerade. So it doesn't really
I
work.
drink water exclusively. Sorry, I jumped the gun.
Drinking water exclusively, we have Eddie Segura.
Yeah. It's healthy. See? Oh.
And what are you drinking right now, Brianna? Gaten?
Yeah, Gaten.
Gaten.
Actually, when he said that he had a drink, I ran to my kitchen and I have a bottle of tequila. So this is going to be like drunk history for me.
She's winning. I don't have tequila. I have beer.
Tequila wins, yes.
You guys all would have been terrible in high school. So that's actually what we're going to be talking about. It's back to school time right now. September, everybody's getting into the swing of that kind of environment. So we figured, let's make a movie club about that. And we decided to pick 4 different high school films that didn't follow exactly the same pattern because there's only a couple ways that you can make a high school movie. You could either do like the comedy kind of thing like an American Pie. You can do something like, the real high school is so difficult and I'm full of emotions type of thing. You can do what we're going to talk about in the first one, which is like, oh, I got to save these kids. But they all basically boil down to high school's hard. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to take a couple different types of ones instead of just doing, 21 Jump Street and then like 4 or 5 or 3 or whatever comedies. Let's get a wide variety here. So the ones that we do have ahead of you are Dangerous Minds, 10 Things I Hate About You, Mean Girls, and The Perks of Being a Wallflower. And we're going to start off with Dangerous Minds, 1995 drama film directed by John N. Smith. It's a Jerry Bruckheimer film. One of those things where it was like a pet project that they came across a book that it was based on, which is My Posse Don't Do Homework by retired U.S. Marine Luann Johnson, who's the main character of the whole thing. And the basic overall story is that Michelle Pfeiffer's character, who is Luann Johnson, the one who wrote the book, is a Marine who gets a divorce and decides she wants to be a teacher, and she gets the worst luck in the world where she gets put in like the terrible district in California. It's Carlmont High School in Belmont. No idea where the hell that is. But essentially, it's just filled with a bunch of delinquent kids, and that's one of these stereotypical films where it's like the teacher's got to change these kids around and, save them from themselves and that kind of stuff. A little insight on the ratings for the film. It ended up getting a 29% on the tomato meter in Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience score significantly higher, 64%. What did you guys think about Dangerous Minds? What was your first impression of it? Let's start off with Dace.
So I'm going to be completely honest with it. This is why I host most of the time. I watch Stand and Deliver, which is essentially the same thing except with like Latins in Eastern LA rather than Belmont. and he's just trying to teach him academics. So if it's anything like Dangerous Minds, the movie was great. It's phenomenal.
What was that Hilary Swank movie that was the same thing too?
Stand By Me. I don't know. I'm out.
Yeah, wasn't that her, that pudgy kid when she was young?
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't
the
she?
Truffle Shuffle.
Didn't she
This
used
is
to be
why-
Jerry O'Connell? I want to watch Stand By Me again. Old
Yeah.
episode. We'll have to do a retro, like do it again, kind of for real or something like that.
The four real greatest hits.
Do these hold up movies? And we could do the One Crazy Summer again. That was great.
Maybe this time I'll get through it.
So, yeah, I'm just bullshitting because I didn't watch it.
Well, what was your first thoughts on what was it?
Stand and Deliver.
Stand and Deliver. Yeah.
My favorite part was when Robin Williams asked the kids to get on the desk and just start reciting poems.
I think Cartman was there, and he was trying to help them take a test.
How do I teach these kids? That's basically, I think that line's from Stand and Deliver. So, woo, Lou Diamond Phillips.
Definitely wasn't from Dangerous Minds, because she was just kind of like, yeah, fuck you guys.
I might have liked that movie better. Damn.
Maybe. Eddie, what's your first thoughts on Dangerous Minds?
I'm old.
Don't you feel it?
Yeah, dude, I swear to God, I was 12 when that movie came out, and Gangsta's Paradise was all over the radio. And everybody was always like, na 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 na. And it was like, we spend most of our lives living in the Gangsta's Paradise. And I was like, where are all the rock bands all of a sudden? And it was like Snoop Dogg and all the rap and hip hop. And I'm like, and there was one thing that besides the music that came along, and it was that movie everywhere, all the time. It's like Dangerous Minds, the big hit movie of the season or whatever. And I was just like, yeah, I don't care. I ended up watching it like 5 years later or something, and I gotta say, I saw it as like this kind of like a commercial attempt to sort of display, the rougher side of the minority culture in America. Because up until then, it was just like like white America mostly. And all of a sudden, hip hop went onto the mainstream, and one of the main reasons to make this movie was just kind of like, oh, let's see what we can do with this. I don't even know if there was a book.
Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, for real. That's just my perception of it. I didn't even research to know if there was a book written beforehand or not.
I think it was the movie Stand and Deliver that came out before.
Oh, okay.
Sure it wasn't Stand By Me?
It might have been that as well.
All right. No, based on my posse don't do homework, right?
Yeah, that's the name of the book.
Okay. Sure. Okay. I'm sure it was piggyback riding on the whole hip hop scene exploding. I have nothing against it so far.
Brianna, what were your first thoughts?
My first thoughts were I probably should have watched Stand and Deliver because it was that.
I have such influence. This is great.
I'm gonna have to go watch that now because I can watch a Robin Williams movie.
Oh, he's not in it.
Ew, he's not in it.
Nope, not at all.
I thought you said earlier Robin Williams was in it. Oops.
I may have cross-referenced with Dead Poet Society.
Oh.
And Jack.
And Jack.
Dropped a little bit for me. I'll still watch it. No, this movie was boring. It felt like it was overdone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Just that Southern accent, because Michelle Pfeiffer had this horrible Southern accent the entire time. It just kept, it's like nails on a chalk,
Jesus.
I actually do have a note down, because obviously when we're going through these movies, it's good to like take notes and stuff like that. But I have a note that specifically says her accent comes and goes.
Yeah.
Couple scenes, she's just kind of like, but you're gonna die. And then some other scenes, she's just kind of like, hey guys, I'm Michelle Pfeiffer. This is a very like rushed film. You could tell that it really wasn't like this thing that they were like a priority, like a Forrest Gump where they're like, let's put a whole lot into this or whatever. And, that's why it got the reaction that it did from the critics and stuff like that. It's not widely considered a great film, but weird about it, it ended up spinning off into a TV show.
I saw that.
Yeah, they took a book, made a movie out of it, and then they made a year-long TV show with Annie Potts playing the Michelle Pfeiffer character. So, like, they really got their money's worth out of this movie. At the very least,
there was a demographic, man.
Yeah. At the very least, Coolio owes this movie because one of the biggest parts about this whole thing is just the song Gangsta's Paradise.
Totally. Dude, it was like every day there was no way to avoid it. It was like, no matter what you were doing, you could stay at home. Somehow that song would appear.
Now,
at least 3 times a day.
I love that song.
Me too. I mean, fuck it, right? Me too, but like,
it's so catchy. It was
all over the place.
And actually, the first CD I ever bought was Bad Hair Day from Weird Al because of Amish Paradise.
It's fucking
one of his greatest songs.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I've got like remixes of Gangsta's Paradise and stuff like that. Like I'm the worst person in the world. If you look at the people in this film, I'm the opposite of what somebody should be singing Gangsta's Paradise.
Wait,
but that's a song that
I don't even remember the song.
You know, it was like in 5 times in the movie.
In the movie, but before this, I never
really
before.
Oh, it was huge back then. I mean, that was like, you go back to like the mid 90s range. That probably ended up being like the top of the charts for that year.
Yeah, this is what, 95. I don't think
95,
mom allowed me to listen to music back then. That's probably why I missed it. I had some big finger quotes or air bunnies going on. Wasn't allowed.
Tony and I were pretty badass first and second graders listening to this.
The stupidest part is my favorite line in the whole thing from when I was a kid, and even like to this day, is like one of the tamest lines. It's "What's going on in the kitchen?" I think it's so weird listening to that song now when he says, "I'm 23 now, but will I live to see 24?" And I'm like, I'm 28. Fuck. Like, I feel so old, like we were saying, watching this now. It's so dated, ridiculously. And it's not just the fact that, like, half of the students are dressed like Coolio, or that, like, it's all in the same aspect ratio that we're not used to anymore because everything's widescreen now, whatever like that, but random scenes, they would just pop up with Gangsta's Paradise and just hit you over the head with it. They're heavy on that. I counted at least 4 times in the movie that it pops up. Opening credits, end credits, and then like 2 random parts. But another side thing about the music is the people that did the score, Wendy and Lisa. And you might not recognize their names. I don't really recognize them for a whole lot of things, but I do recognize them from one thing. Heroes.
Like the show?
Yeah.
What?
Love that show.
Exactly.
Come again? Say that again?
When I'm watching the opening credits on this and it says music by Wendy and Lisa, I was just like, is that the people from... No, that can't be the Heroes people. And I had to double check on IMDb and I'm just like, holy fuck.
The is like playing in my head right now and I'm looking for eclipses outside the window.
Well, I mean, you got to realize that back then, like, the budget for music production was so low that, like, you think, okay, they just go for cliche stuff.
Maybe that's why they repeated that same song 5 times.
Yeah.
They didn't have the budget.
Yeah, no, really, that's exactly it. And because actually pulling off a good soundtrack is actually quite expensive. Dazed and Confused, that movie with I think Matthew McConaughey's in it or something. Half the budget went to the soundtrack.
Damn.
Yeah.
It is expensive to license.
And just speaking of music, Gangsta's Paradise topped the radio charts only for 1 week in 1995. Yeah.
Bullshit.
It was there all the time, but it didn't top for more than a week.
Oh, is that like one of those
Amish.
number 2 forever kind of things?
Yeah, sort of. It was like number 5, number 8, number 10, number 3, stuff like that. Madonna's "Take a Bow" was the top charting song of 1995.
And she's still going. Damn it.
And where's Coolio?
Dude, he's getting
in the
high
new
in like
Halloween
South
movie.
Beach or something.
Yeah, he acts now.
Really?
I have a friend who actually ran into him in
LA
here
goes.
Just take a picture and that's it.
We'll have to do a TV club thing and just do Kenan and Kel.
On Nick.
So let's go through some of the casting here. What did you guys think of Michelle Pfeiffer playing the lead character?
She's awful.
It didn't bother me. I mean, I didn't really care, I suppose. It wasn't a movie that was too credible to begin with. I mean, it's kind of like they tried, I guess, to make this sort of dramatic kind of atmosphere going on, but it didn't feel that way.
See, I didn't buy into her being somebody that was in the military because she acts like a pushover for most of the film.
Maybe she was like doing like paperwork.
She's like, I was a U.S. Marine. You don't know
Yeah.
how many red marks I saw all over the place when it came to my pen.
She doesn't even act like a Marine throughout the movie. Not really.
No. You would think that she'd be like really tough on the kids or like, I don't know, have like a stronger backbone.
She wore dresses. Never seen a Marine in a dress, or even enjoy dresses.
But
Yeah,
then
you
she
think
tries
she'd
to
be
get-
like borderline, like kind of like lesbo, like sporting a beard kind of thing, you know? That's
Well,
just my
they did-
vision of like super tough military women.
I don't know. I kind of got a little bit of a vibe that maybe she was going that route. Like, she divorced from her husband, who was abusive. They dropped that bomb, like, in the middle of nowhere. And doesn't, like, flirt with anybody, really.
In the poster, she kind of looks like Caitlyn Jenner, so I could see where she comes off a little bit mannish.
She does look like Caitlyn Jenner. Wow.
Right?
Yeah. I'm
So
looking at it.
it was her first time walking in heels. So it's really this movie predicted Caitlyn Jenner's sex change 20 years ago, and now Caitlyn Jenner is going to go teach some kids in Harlem.
Who the hell's Caitlyn Jenner?
Pop up on a bunch of conspiracy websites now.
You don't remember when Caitlyn Jenner was at the Olympics? And
Yeah. And then
Oh,
decided,
that
hey,
explains it. That's why I don't know. Hang on.
I want boobs to play with all the time, so she got boobs.
You mean
Bruce?
yeah.
Who is this Bruce you speak of? I know it's Caitlyn.
Isn't this like one of the Kardashian dad or something or something?
Oh, he's a
like
Kardashian now.
that? No, I swear to God, he looks like that Kardashian dude I saw that one time I saw the show.
Yeah, that's
he's
him.
the stepdad. Whatever.
Yeah.
Looks the same.
What did you guys think of the fat friend teacher?
Well, Chris Farley was great. I really miss. I love his work. And they just did that documentary on him, and he was fantastic. I mean, he was a great school bus driver, and he got a little frantic at the end and wanted to tip the bus off a cliff. But he was a great actor. He helped.
Billy Madison's such a better movie. It really is.
I think
At least
there's
it's
a lot of
within the
movies that
theme.
could be better movies than this.
Come on, chill. Okay, when you guys are gonna give the score? I want to see if you guys are really gonna bash it that much.
I am sorry.
Try to give it
It's
something
just like
high.
you're gonna go for a teacher movie. What's that movie with Cameron Diaz? And where
Bad
she-
Teacher?
Oh God,
Yes, I like that movie a lot better.
I know that the TV show was a bad show.
Oh, I never watched the TV show.
That's terrible. That and the spinoff that they did, it was like Bad Lawyer or something.
Spin-offs
Bad
suck.
Judge. I think it's Bad Judge. I don't know. I didn't like either of them. The notes that I had down for Hal Griffith is the character's name, played by George Dzundza.
George
Dzundza?
Costanza's playing Hal Jordan. I love this movie.
The notes that I have written down for him is fat guy friend equals kind of jerk. Hitting her in the head with the ball for a pep talk is funny. Smoking, calling people idiots. Do I really like this guy? Yes, I do.
Oh,
So apparently throughout this film, I was just kind of like, this guy's an ass. But he's funny. But a lot of these characters, they all kind of blended into me. Like, especially like, there's only a couple students that they give some kind of a focal point to. Like Rico Suave
Oh, okay.
and Callie, who looks like Coolio.
Wait, they really named the character Rico Suave?
No, his name's
Oh, okay.
Emilio.
Like
Emilio
Estevez?
Ramirez. But he's totally Rico Suave.
Emilio? Like
that's the one that died.
Yeah, apparently the actor
I know
died,
there was
like,
a guy in my
soon after
class
this,
called
too.
Emilio.
Was
He was
he
totally
acting
like blonde. He totally blonde from Seattle, from Detroit. I don't know what the hell's up with that.
It's weird.
Yeah.
He was Rico Suave, and there's Raul, the one who does the whole I want the chicken. $200 coat guy. You know, like you have to kind of like say the couple of parts that they are specifically in to be like, oh, that guy. You know,
Yeah.
because they all sort of blended in together. Like I can't even remember the other person's name. The mom takes him away from school.
Let's go with Tito. I see Tito on IMDb. Oh, no, that's... Oh, shit. I'm still on Stand and Deliver. My bad. I thought I actually switched over to the other movie.
I think his name starts with a G, this character, and I can't fucking find it anywhere, so it's probably not.
Guacamole?
It might be Guacamole.
We're going to call him Guac. Hey, Guac! What up, dog? Did you get your math homework done? No.
There's a Cornelius in here? I don't remember a Cornelius.
I really feel like I have to watch
Fight Club. You're not supposed to talk about it.
We have to do Fight Club on a movie club and not talk about it.
We can't talk about it.
Just go, all right, part 2 of the movie club, it's going to be Fight Club. Can't talk about it, so part 3 is going to...
Is it Gizmaro? Gus?
Yeah, maybe.
Because there's a Gus Morrow Rivera, and I feel like they made that up.
Gus Morrow.
Yeah. Man, it's like they asked a white guy to come up with really Spanish names for this, and they failed.
It really is.
Yeah.
Darrell Benton?
Darrell, that's the character I'm thinking of. Totally doesn't have a G in his name. Oh, wait, it does, because he's Richard Grant. I'll give myself credit for that.
Check this out. Deshonda Carter as Tanya Kia. Hang on. Tanyekia? Yeah.
Is that a country somewhere?
Inventor of Kia?
No, you're thinking of Tanzania. and Kenya. Yeah, so you're right. They probably got like names in a hat and cut them in half and then like just picked them out.
It does seem like it's written by somebody who's not of any kind of like Hispanic background.
Yeah, it's just probably like...
There's a Russian guy here. Ivan Sergey as Juero. Like, it's funny. He's not like Latino at all.
Ronald Bass.
I'm going to look at a picture of the guy who wrote it. 9? Yeah, he's probably white. Let's see. Oh, he
Those
has no
white
picture.
boys.
Who did the screenplay for that?
Ronald Bass.
Ronald Bass.
He's known for Entrapment, Rain Man, and My Best Friend's Wedding. So his good work didn't
what the
come until
fuck?
after
Rain Man and My Best Friend's Wedding? What the hell is wrong with the world nowadays?
He's clearly qualified for a Latino film.
Because when I think somebody needs to write about the struggles of the Hispanic community in California, I go, yeah, you know that Dustin Hoffman movie?
Yeah, didn't that win an Oscar? We should totally get that guy.
He wrote Sleeping
check
with
it
the
out.
Enemy.
Dude. Desira Galvez as Taiwana. Like, he totally got names of countries. I swear.
He
Like,
did. That's what it sounds like.
It's going to be like Ramon something other as Germania. Englandia.
His original ideas for Speedy Gonzalez shit got shot down. They're like, dude, okay, now you just crossed the line. You're pulling from Looney Tunes.
I also have another note about a character that I forgot to bring up that I don't know the name of the character, so it could be any kind of country for all we know. But I have him listed as Random Dancing Candy Guy.
What?
Do you guys know that part of the film where she's handing out the candy bars to whoever gets the credit, like the question correctly? And then he, at the end, they're like, we want you to stay. And he just kind of stands up and he's just kind of like, we got candy bars. And he's just like, oh yeah, like fucking all super happy about it. It's just like, this guy's awesome. And
that must be Lalo. Ismael Archuleta as Lalo. Lalo.
Lalo. You got
Lalo.
Lalo. Do-do-do. I sing a lot when I don't host.
Oh, here's what's funny. Here's what's really funny, though. There's an actress's name. Her name is actually like a region. It's Asia Minor as Pam.
Oh, wow.
That's funny. That is really funny.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you guys can tell that we didn't really like this movie.
No, hang on. Hey, you didn't ask us to rate it yet.
Yeah. Not yet. I was going to get to that in about 2 more segments. But when it comes to a movie like this, if you were going to, separate the fact that you watched it and what your rating is, if somebody approached you and they said, there's a movie about somebody who is going to try to teach a bunch of troubled kids, is that something that stands out to you, or is that already like against the grain and not something that I'm really interested in? Brianna, what do you think? Is that something that you would be like, oh, I might check out that film?
No, not these days. No. Because I think it's overdone. I mean, like, I just watched an inspirational teacher movie the other day, and it was horrible. And this one was horrible, too. So, it's just, they're completely overdone.
What about
but
you,
I
Eddie?
guess this one might have come first, since it's, what, 15, 20, 10 years? 10 years ago?
20.
20?
I think
We're
Stand
old.
came up first. I think that's like 89 or something.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, it's back then. It was a market that wasn't really explored, right? And like I said, I think the matter is the hip hop was really starting to like seep into the white boy world. You know, like you have kids that like totally have nothing to do with that kind of background, just listening to Gangsta's Paradise because it was such a catchy tune. And they already had some hood movies that were really respectable, actually. I would consider Jungle Fever one of those. Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
And there must be another one. It's slipping my mind, but this is still one of those, you know. And back then, like if it wasn't like an A-list Hollywood movie, production was kind of lousy, no matter what. And the production just wasn't that good. But I'll tell you what, it really, as I was watching this movie, it just makes me mad at the whole, you know, social circumstance. And then you see the, you know, when she, Michelle Pfeiffer's, whatever her name is, Lou Ann Johnson, goes to the kid's house, and then her mom's like, oh, you want to teach him all about the education, them boys got to get a job and all that, you know, like, I get it, yeah, okay, it's kind of cheesy to watch it, but it really got me going, you know. I don't know if I was just feeling like more susceptible to just whatever I'm watching, you know. I was just kind of like sleepy but awake at the same time, so it really got to me. This is why I think the movie has its merits. When it came out, it really was one of the first of its kind.
Dace, what would you give Stand and Deliver out of a 10? And what are your favorite and least favorite parts?
Back to the point that you guys were talking about a little bit. I would honestly watch this movie if, and only if, you based it about 50 years before Phantom Menace, and Yoda's trying to teach a bunch of younglings. He goes, how do I teach these children?
Oh, see, he wouldn't say that. He'd be like, teach these children, how do I?
Yes, with like a Latino accent.
Teach these children, how would I?
He's got a churro in one hand, and he should be trying to keep these kids away from Darth Plagueis the Wise, because he's still alive in that time frame, because, you know, Palpatine hasn't killed him yet. So I would buy into the whole thing with that. Based on what I have put together in this past 20 minutes we've been talking about this, I would give it a 10. A movie with Robin Williams and Chris Farley talking to these kids in Eastern LA is phenomenal. And it really hits home.
Candy guy.
And random dancing candy guy.
So to me, this is clearly a 10, but if I had watched the movie or based it off IMDb, it'd be a 6.4.
Are we giving scores already? Shit, I didn't give mine.
High point is, I didn't watch it, and low point is the poster for it, because that does not sell.
You mean angry, pissed off Michelle Pfeiffer doesn't make you want to go, oh man, I really got to see this movie?
Actually, looking at that poster, it makes me want to watch the Olympics, because I get the Caitlyn Jenner feel. So, I'm insane.
Brianna, what are your favorite and least favorite parts, and your score from 1 to 10?
Okay, no favorite parts. Least favorite parts is the entire thing because of that accent. And I'm going to give it a 2.5.
Ouch.
It would have been a 2, but I'm going to be nice and give it a 0.5.
Eddie, what about you?
I will give it a 7, and this is purely because of when it came out. The high point, I'd say, is just, I think it delivers the story. And the low point is just, despite delivering the story, I think the production and screenplay was kind of lousy.
I actually just came across
let me just say something. I have nothing against any of the actors, even Michelle Pfeiffer. Because sometimes, you know what, it's bad directing, like they just want to get through with it, and they don't correct the actors and stuff like that, you know? So you got to think about that a lot.
Is it safe to say that you're not all about that bass?
Yeah, you could say that. You could say I wouldn't drop the bass, right?
Nice.
So looking on Wikipedia right now, I just, over, you know, like scanning it and stuff like that, noticed a little part that says Andy Garcia filmed scenes as Michelle Pfeiffer's love interest, before, but they cut that from the movie.
Oh, that would have made it a little bit better.
Yeah. And that would have dispelled the rumors that she went into, like, the lesbian mode, like we were saying before. Not there's anything wrong with that. Of course, you gotta say that out there now. I gotta say, favorite scene, I don't think I have a favorite scene, but if it counts, Gangsta's Paradise. I just like that fucking song. So there you go. That's the best part of the movie. Least favorite scene, the ending. It's so bland, and when she stays, it just kind of like ends. There's no resolution. Like, you don't get to know whether or not these kids actually graduated. Rico Suave gets killed, and they're just kind of like, oh, this sucks. but it's, time heals all wounds. Just not a big fan.
You keep saying Rico Suave, and I keep thinking the Weird Al song. Taco Grande. I don't know why.
And see, every time I think of Rico Suave, I think of Horatio Sands.
And every time you mention Phantom Menace, I just think what's that Weird Al song? American Fry. I mean, wait.
The Saga Begins.
My, this American. No, my, this your Anakin guy. He later made me Vader, but now he's just a small fry. Something like that.
That's a good song, too.
Like every time I think Phantom Menace, I think of the Weird Al video.
Yes.
We'll do a movie club of
UHF.
Weird Al. Yeah, UHF.
There we go.
That. And
I
Spy
do have
Hard.
something to add on to my little comment. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, I watched this movie, and it was kind of the same premises, but it was called Sex Ed, and it had that boy from The Sixth Sense, that little boy, Haley Joel Osment, or whatever. So he was teaching all these inner school kids, about sex ed and how they shouldn't procreate. And this probably would have been better with these kids. I mean, if they're stupid and annoying and, obviously dumb, then maybe they should learn about sex ed instead of all this other stuff that as they say throughout the movie, isn't going to help them.
At least Callie should, since she got knocked up.
Yes. So that's what I kept thinking of whenever I watched the movie, that maybe they should have a different class instead of, literature or whatever. Teach them about the birds and the bees.
And to not kill people.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that too. But, as long as they're not spreading their horrible gene pool into this horrible world, which they say like 10 times, this is an awful world, this is a horrible world.
Brianna would totally be the administration in this movie that are just kind of like, fuck these kids.
And, I don't mean that in a bad way because, you can't help what town you grow up in, but whatever. That's all I had to add to it.
I'm going to have to give this a little bit higher than what you gave it, but a little bit lower than Eddie. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. And
that's a lot lower than I did. Don't say a little. That's a lot lower.
It's 3 points.
Shut up.
6.4.
I couldn't even really break it up to a 5. It's just... it's just not a really good film. I can't recommend it. It's not on the list of if we do a movie club best of hits kind of thing. We're not going to be talking about Dangerous Minds. It's not the worst film that we've seen out of this.
Historical value. I mean, there's a little, but I get it. I get your score.
Yeah. If I go the rest of my life and I never watch it again, because I did watch this before when I was a kid, and I didn't remember all that much about it. Especially didn't remember Random Dancing Candy Guy. But... I'd be okay with this being the second and last time I watch this movie. But hey, I mean, like I said, Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a 29, and the audience gave it a 64. So, regular public likes the movie more than the critics do, and we're a little bit harsh on it, but we're part of that 29%.
Yay.
That's part 1 of episode 18 that we're on right now, and we've got 3 more movies coming your way. So next part, we're going to talk about 10 Things I Hate About You. If you're on iTunes and Stitcher, you don't have to do anything because we will just be right back in a second. But if you're on YouTube, then you got to do a little bit more work. You got to click on that next video, and we will see you in part 2. 10 Things I Hate About You coming up right now. Welcome back, everybody. We are on part 2 of this edition of the Movie Club podcast. We're talking about high school films. We just got done talking about Dangerous Minds, and now we're going to move on to something that is a lot more preferable, 10 Things I Hate About You. It's a 1999 film that is based off of The Taming of the Shrew by William Shakespeare. So it's not My Homies Don't Do Homework or whatever it was. We got a much better starting point to go from here. Starring Julia Stiles, Heath Ledger, I don't know why I said that, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Larissa Oleynik? It's Oleynik?
Oleynik.
Wasn't that Alex Mack?
Yeah.
It is.
We've got David Krumholtz. I think this is the second film that we've done on the movie club that he's been in, because he was in Santa Claus, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he was. He was Bernard.
Yeah, he was the best part of that movie. And basically, the point of the whole film is essentially the Taming of the Shrew kind of thing, if you're unfamiliar with that. Boils down to Heath Ledger is the bad boy. He's been hired by, the jock douchebag kind of guy in the school to start dating Julia Stiles' character because her sister, Larissa Oleynik, I'm going to mess that up so many times on this, is the one that he's looking after. She can't date unless Julia Stiles is dating, blah, 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 blah. We go around in a circle and stuff like that, and it's all just mind games and stuff like that. But, first impressions, what did you guys think of 10 Things I Hate About You, Dace?
See, I think the thing that's missed the most in this movie is the subtlety that is, this is the origin story for the Joker. He tried to chase a woman who drove him nuts to the point where he self-mutilation, went crazy, and then tried to burn down Gotham.
Now,
love the movie.
Is it about the Heath Ledger one? Because funny part in this movie, they do say, well, she's got a picture of Jared Leto.
Ooh, that's what drove him nuts. He knew it was going to happen.
He saw it coming that Jared Leto was going to take the part.
Yeah,
and he was just kind of like, fuck.
I think it's safe to say, and you heard it here first, Julia Stiles killed Heath Ledger.
Wow, that's got YouTube like suing
defamation.
all over the place. Yeah.
We're only 3 minutes into the second part, people. It is all downhill from here. Love the movie.
Brianna, your thoughts on 10 Things I Hate About You?
Okay, out of all 4 of the movies, this one was my absolute favorite. And it's not because I have sentimental attachment to the movie, because I was in love with Heath Ledger from the time I was like 10 until he died.
So you're like uber pissed that Julia Stiles killed him.
Dude, I'm serious. That's going to be like lawsuit right there. This program in no way and or persons like
allegedly
for real allegedly
killed him
sustainably. You know.
Well, if you're listening, Julia, hi. Give me a call. We do a show Wednesday nights on MegaPowersRadio.com. Would love for you to call in and tell me how much of an asshole I am.
Okay, going
Chris
on.
Dace. That's Chris Dace, by the way.
So you had an unhealthy obsession for Heath Ledger?
I had an unhealthy obsession with Heath Ledger. Plus,
tell us more.
Do what?
Tell us more
about my unhealthy obsession.
Sure.
Did you kill him?
No.
Lawsuit.
But this movie is based on a William Shakespeare play, so it was already going in with like a really awesome story anyway, because it's already got that that proven character arc in it. So I thought it was really good, and it was funny, especially the porn star or porn. No, wait, hold on. The teacher.
Did you watch the right movie?
Yes.
That's 10 things I really love about you.
It's the tequila. The principal. She's like writing a porn novel. She's writing erotica.
Oh yeah, the guidance counselor.
Yes. Oh, it's not the principal?
No, she's just the guidance counselor.
Too. Yeah, whatever. So I thought that was funny, and then plus, it's got those. I don't know. It's just something that my entire life you always quote this movie. It's always got something on it. Like that part where he says, my insurance doesn't cover PMS. I mean, that's just something that me and my friends have always quoted. Just, just randomly about things, not a car accident or anything. But I don't know, I loved it. I thought it was good, and the acting was really good too. Because you can't go wrong with Heath Ledger.
Eddie, what were your first thoughts?
Yeah, that's true. The acting was pretty solid. I thought the cast was good. But the movie was totally silly. Like, you can't take it. I mean, it's not a serious movie at all. At no point whatsoever. It's kind of it's over the top, sarcastic, but it's super entertaining. I was totally entertained by it. I saw it like quite some time ago, like 10 years ago, more or less. And it was cool, dude. I dug the movie.
I dug it a lot too. I actually think that this is probably my favorite of the bunch. And I was surprised because it was the type of movie that I've seen, bits and pieces of here and there. And obviously I had heard about it before because you can't not have heard of this movie. But I never thought that I would like it. And I always kind of put it aside and I was just like, well, that'll be one of those things that I watch, I don't like, and then somebody will be talking about how much they love it and I'll go like, yeah, I didn't see it. That kind of a thing. But pleasantly surprised. And I liked it at the very beginning of it. All the way through. Like, the first couple minutes, I was just like, I'm digging this. And it never steered me wrong. Before we get into the casting, let's just talk about some general stuff here. Who was your favorite character of the whole thing?
Who, me?
Anybody.
Oh, go, Brianna.
I don't know. I really liked Andrew Keegan's character, Joey Donner, the bad guy. Not the bad guy, but the
Villain.
stuck-up guy. The model, yeah.
The evil dude.
Nose job tomorrow, or nose ad. Not a nose job.
Got a nose job.
I got a blow job tomorrow.
Well, that was kind of the point of the movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought he was really funny. And then, I don't know. I can't really pick a favorite. He's just, I thought I liked him.
Base, who was your favorite character?
I love Larry Miller. He's in everything, and he's the same character in everything, and I love him for the character that he does. He's a dick, sometimes a weasel. So he won my heart. And plus, you know, the Joker. The Joker's phenomenal. Nightwing, he needs to grow up.
See, now, I gotta say, my favorite character was the teacher. He was awesome. He didn't take shit from anybody. Julia Stiles is just kind of like, I'd like to volunteer, and he's like, get the fuck in the principal's office.
No, I think that was really a good idea what you just said. I like the assignment. Get out of here. Go to the office.
I thought that was fucking great. I loved him. He was amazing. I have a note down here that says the scene where they're talking about Brianna.
No, screw you. I want to get to tell what my favorite character is.
Did you? I thought you said Brianna.
No, shit.
Wait, is that a character in there, or was he talking about...
Did I waste my turn on Brianna?
Did.
You did.
Oh, man.
All right, tell me anyway.
Okay, it's David Krumholtz's character, Michael Ekman, because he looks like a young George Costanza.
Wait, which one?
The friend that hangs around with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, yes.
He's just George Costanza when he was like 18 or something. It's hilarious. Even the way he talks sometimes.
Oh, he talks so Jewish, too. He, amps up the Jewish factor.
Totally.
It's amazing. I do like Krumholtz. I think he's good in, almost everything I've seen him in.
But otherwise, yeah, Heath Ledger kicked ass.
But I have a note down about the Brianna thing. They're like, oh, everybody loves Brianna. You know, she's just amazing and stuff. Bianca? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
No, Brianna.
You said... it is Bianca. That's what it is. I don't know why I'm thinking Brianna. Did you say Brianna?
Shit.
Is that what it is?
No, I said Brianna. You want to go? As in, do you want to go, Brianna? Your turn?
I do want to go.
Yeah.
Wow, you threw me all off with that whole thing.
Yeah.
Bianca. Okay, we're back to that.
I remember specifically Bianca because there was a chick I wanted to bang in high school called Bianca.
It's like the mouse from The Rescuers, Bianca.
Oh, I haven't seen that in so long. I don't remember that.
The mouse.
Of course, I didn't remember that her name was Bianca. I kept getting your name mixed up with it. But
I don't even know how I know that. It just came to me.
But the Bianca character, now that I'm saying it correctly, they say everybody loves her and whatever like that, and I was just kind of like, we'll see. And the note that I wrote down was, all right, kind of love her at first sight too, but then she opens her mouth, becomes a bitch, and then it takes a while for me to like her again. At the end of the movie, I do like her, but she plays up the bitchy part, and at that point, I was just like, I don't think I'm going to like this character. But Olenek is somebody that I've always thought was really cute, so they started off good there. But what was weird is Julia Stiles, I don't know if you guys feel the same way about it as I do. I thought it was weird that there was a part in there where they were saying, they would rather date a sheep. I'm like, Julia Stiles is still good looking.
Yeah, I don't get it. Maybe not the hottest chick on the planet, but she's definitely above average.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, I don't know. Movies don't have to have supermodels all the time, And she's totally I think she's hotter because she's not the perfect supermodel type,
I think she looks better with glasses.
I'm a glasses guy.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, man.
She's got an alien face going on when they're out there.
I have a note down here. The character that she is in there totally would like Sylvia Plath. Beljar sucks. I hated that crap. I never read it in high school. I refused to. I can't stand Sylvia Plath. And really, the people that Julia Stiles plays, the stereotype of, can't stand them. Hate those people. You guys feel the same way, or are you like, oh, those people are amazing?
They should totally stick their head in an oven.
Go.
No? Too soon?
They should what?
Totally stick their head in an oven. Didn't know if it was too soon. Got silent. I was like, oh, God. I know it happened 20 years ago.
That's way more than 20 years ago.
My bad. Math. Turned into drunk history. So Sylvia Plath in 1754 stuck her head in an oven, because ovens were invented, and died.
Birthed a dragon.
What the hell's going on here?
That was history.
I just didn't want to say anything.
You got a history lesson from Robin Williams.
Let's see here. I got a note about the stereotypes were fun, the beginning of this, which actually made me appreciate another thing that happens in one of my favorite comedies of all time, Not Another Teen Movie. Anytime I watch these movies that I haven't seen before, pick out a couple more jokes that I'm like, oh, they were making fun of that. That's fucking fantastic. The beginning of this where Krumholtz is going through and introducing everybody to Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and he's just kind of like, well, those are, the jocks, and those are the stoners, and like that kind of thing. I'm like, this is the beginning of Not Another Teen Movie when they're going through this. Fucking amazing.
I love the parody of when Chris Evans is singing Janie's Got a Gun.
Yeah, that too.
From this, yeah. I love that.
Which that was a cool scene. I like that.
Here's what's weird. I obtained a copy of the movie. And I remember, like, back in the day when I watched it, it was Janie's Got a Gun, but I got a copy of the movie that is not Janie's Got a Gun.
Well, no, this movie, it's something. God, I can't think of the fucking song. Chris Evans sang Janie's Got a Gun in Not Another Teen Movie.
Yeah.
In 10 Things I Hate About You, I think he's singing some Tom Jones shit or something. I don't know. Maybe it was Luda. It's probably Luda.
No, but maybe I got it confused with another movie as well. But I remember Janie's Got a Gun. For some reason, in this movie, when I started watching it again, I was like, isn't this where Heath Ledger sings Janie's Got a Gun or something?
Yeah, you're probably mixing it up with Not Another TeenMovie, because that's the part where it's like, you got to sing a song that has her name in it. And she's Janie. Janie's got a gun, and then the cops come after her. She's got a gun.
Yeah, it's Can't Take My Eyes Off of You.
That's it.
By the artist known as Ludacris. It's phenomenal.
Anybody know for sure if that's actually Heath Ledger singing or not?
It sounds like him.
Could be.
Because he was pretty good.
Yes. Yes, it was. Did I just go crazy? Or is that somebody else?
I heard
that was Eddie.
Okay. Because I really thought we're like doing Tron now. Welcome to the Four Real Movie, or the Real Movie Club. I don't know where we are. Tron.
Tron. No, that wasn't me.
Yeah, Eddie's a little bit transformery right now. Hopefully that'll fix itself out.
Rangers.
Well, there's a lot of teenagers with attitude in this movie. Something else about the music I wrote down here. The 90s is dated through the music and some of the style, like the way that they dress and stuff like that, but I thought that it was going to be a little bit more dated than it was. I mean, this is 1999, so obviously there are some things that, like, they're not carrying around cell phones the same as we do now, but it really kind of still plays to modern audiences. So I like that a lot. I appreciated that.
Boring-ass movie that cell phones. Just sitting there playing Candy Crush.
Texting each other.
Yeah. A tweet about that guy's ass. Tron.
Let's continue on with the casting stuff here. Anybody else get the feeling that Gabrielle Union's character was there entirely just to end up with Rico Suave at the end? Now I'm bringing another Rico Suave back.
Is that the only Latin name you know?
Joey Donner.
I could make up a bunch of things about different countries.
There you go.
Joey Donner.
Joey Donner, yeah.
All right, so Rico Donner. No, I got that impression that, like, at the very beginning when they were introducing the characters and going through this, and I'm like, Gabrielle Union's not doing much here. She's going to end up with that dude at the end. I know it.
I don't know. I kind of felt like Gabrielle Union, her character was there to maybe make Bianca not look as stuck up and airheady. Is that a word, airheady?
Sure.
No.
It is now.
It is now. Airheady.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. They didn't have any black people, so
Gabrielle Union.
Yeah, that's why they had her there. They needed one.
She's the token black.
Yeah, there was the teacher.
Oh yeah, that guy. But he had a minor role, so like the friends, they were all white nerdy people running around. Oh, you gotta paint stuff. So like,
somehow they were able to play archery.
Yeah, yeah. Who the fuck does that in high school? I've never seen a high school where you could shoot things.
Yeah, Joey could just walk around, do whatever.
Hang on, people ask me sometimes, like, in America, do people really do all that stuff in high school? Like, they have, like, driving lessons and archery and fencing and all that stuff? I'm like,
No, you get yelled
I'm
at.
not sure.
You get yelled at if you throw the dodgeball too fucking hard.
Yeah.
Give me a bow and arrow.
No, that's bullshit.
Nah, I'm dead serious. Like, you get too rough in gym. Like, I'll see you after school for being a rough
Wow.
dick.
Yeah,
I
fuck
never
that
took
shit.
gym in high school.
You didn't take gym in high school?
No.
Why?
You're lucky.
It's
a pain in the ass.
What? No way, I loved it.
See, I hated it. I'm like, I gotta get changed for this. Like, I'm not learning anything.
I hated having it at first period and then smelling the rest of the day because we didn't have showers.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that sucked, yeah.
And getting
Well, fuck
changed
it.
in front of the other people that smell 10 times worse.
I didn't care. Somebody about to see my dick.
Hey, I went to high school. I went to high school in. Here comes another lawsuit. I went to high school in France, dude. That really smelled.
Smelled like
No,
what?
dude, I'm serious, man. Once I remember there was this one kid that was really late for gym class. This is before the class started, mind you. Like the teacher was like just talking to us about like, oh, so in basketball you got to do this and that, so be aware of the formations and all that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm sitting way in the back of the bleachers, huh? Like way in the back. Everybody's kind of like spread out. And then this kid comes running all the way from across the gym. Like, oh man, I'm so sorry I'm late. He arrives, and I swear, like 3 seconds after he arrives and he sits down, there's this terrible stench I have never smelled again. It was so bad. Like it was sour. It was like a sour smell.
Left a taste
Like,
in your mouth? Like, you just...
it was borderline. It was borderline. Like you could taste the fat cells.
Yeah.
You know,
Like that kid tastes like a 5-day-old hoagie.
No, I don't know. Dude, it was bad. It was really bad.
So what are some of your favorite parts of this film that we haven't touched on yet? We're not wrapping this up yet, but I keep bringing out some stuff from my notes. Anything that you guys wrote down that stood out as like, oh, this part was really funny, or like, that was really odd, or I really liked how they did that, et cetera, et cetera.
I liked the variety of classes like we were just touching on, because it seemed like they had, most schools have 9 periods, maybe 8 periods. They seemed to have 15 different classes every other day. So they were talking like science, and then they're talking in ceramics, and then they're shooting people with bows and arrows.
Right.
I thought it was great. Yeah. And I thought it was funny how many different freaking classes they had. And they never learned a damn thing.
That was a pretty awesome looking school. Like that scene when he's singing to her and they have that huge stadium that's made all out of stone. Like, that's 10 times the size of my high school stadium, our football stadium. And it wasn't even that nice. I thought it was a pretty school.
I also like the paintball scene. So, who doesn't want to run around with a gun and shoot their friends?
Now, it actually was filmed at a high school. So
Was it?
Yeah.
What, did they say which kind of high school? Because that's where I'm going to take my kids if I have kids
It
legally.
is Stadium High School in Tacoma, Washington.
Okay, I'm not moving out there.
Like,
It's a
prep
preppy. It's a
school.
preppy high school.
Yeah, there's no way in hell I'm moving out to Washington.
I heard it's pretty in Washington.
It is, but don't stay.
Birthplace of grunge, man. Grunge.
And
Grunge.
Starbucks.
Oh, let's talk about that real quick.
And
There was a
Boeing.
lot of focus on that band that popped up. Am I supposed to know who the hell they are?
I think it's some indie, or what do they call it? Angry girl indie music.
Angsty?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't like them. That was probably like one of my least favorite parts.
I forgot
it
about
was
the band.
it was a weird soundtrack. It was a weird soundtrack for sure. Definitely not as cool as Gangsta's Paradise.
If you put that in this
The
movie,
one song soundtrack. There's nothing. I didn't find anything remarkable about the soundtrack. I think it fits the movie and all. I especially like the sexy boy scene with the Air. It's a French band. And that they throw the flyers down the stairs and it's like sexy boy. Like it was just it was weird, but it just kind of fit somehow.
Oh yeah, now I know what scene you're talking about. That was kind of cool.
And that was the only one that really fit. But the rest is kind of background. There's nothing catchy. There's no cool song. It's just a bunch of. It's because of Julia Stiles' character. Also, she's very like, oh, I only listen to like bands that haven't sold more than like 2,000 records because they're too mainstream, stuff like that, and only on vinyl. and hipper kind of like only listen to like chick bands and stuff. So, yeah.
The more we talk about Julia Stiles, I hate her.
Aw.
Oh man.
Well, at least the character, not hers. She's like
There
the
you
character.
go.
Yeah.
She was such a hipster.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was annoying. Like, oh, why don't we do anything about Sylvia Plath or Maria whatever or Constance Steffens or whatever? like, shut up. You're a dyke. I get it. Oh shit, sorry. Tony, edit.
Yeah,
edit
this disclaimer there.
I can listen.
Tony, no, I'm so sorry, man. This may or may not. Hang on. Disclaimer. This shit.
Let's put it this way. That's not an anti-lesbian thing. You're making fun.
No, dude. I swear to God, like, I worked at a festival last week. The best band had a lesbian lead singer. She was awesome.
You're just making
no
fun.
backtracking, Trump. There's no backtracking. Just plow through, Trump.
Man,
stick to your guns. She's full lesbo.
Am I still troning?
Troning? No, I called you Trump.
Okay.
I had a scene written down here that stood out to me that I liked a lot. That probably wouldn't be brought up a whole lot, but I thought it was a good moment that they kind of subverted the genre where they're looking at each other on the swing. It's all like, you've got nice eyes, and then she throws up. It's just like,
That's all happened to us at least once, right?
Right. You're in the moment, it's all romantic and stuff, and then it's just kind of like somebody comes along and interrupts it, or like
you really gotta pee.
Yeah, like something weird happens. It's not just movie magic and whatever like that. So I like that because it could have been a perfect time where they would have been like, and then we kiss, and then it's amazing, and then we start dating, and instead it's just kind of like, it's like, good. She would throw up. She drank her ass off. So I like that a lot. A little random note that I also wrote about the end of the movie, the ending crane shot where it's the two of them kissing. In the background of it, two people are fighting.
I did not notice that.
Just the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, if I'm remembering correctly. Two people are just kind of like scuffling. Like, I don't know if that was something where they told them like, just do something. And they were like, let's fight. Let's see some other notes that I've written down here. It only took one take for them to do that scene where she's reading the poem.
Oh, I heard about that, yeah.
And she wasn't supposed to cry. That wasn't planned. So I like that. That was a nice little touch. Anybody ever watch the TV show? Because this had a TV show based off of it as well.
No.
Just like Gangsta's Paradise. I mean, what's the name of the movie? Dangerous Minds.
If there was a TV show of Gangsta's Paradise, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
I'd really want to figure out what's going on in the kitchen. Yeah, the only person who reprised their character was Larry Miller.
He's the man.
Everybody else was recast because they were big enough names, and Larry Miller was just kind of like, I'm in everything, so I'll do this too.
Really? Because, like, I haven't seen Alex Mack on anything. Like,
she's kind of a standout. Yeah.
She should have been chomping at the bit to be on the fucking show.
Styles got a huge boost in her career, though. Ledger, of course, did. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is fucking, like, the man now.
Mm-hmm.
Gabrielle Union's a much bigger star now.
He's fucking the man? Come again?
He's totally fucking the man.
Yeah, he did.
Even Kyle Cease. Like, I've seen him in a lot of stuff. And he's just Bogey Lowenstein.
Bogey, yeah, Joe.
It's Bogey, anyway. I mean, I guess the screenwriter, I want to know how they came up with that name. Bogey.
I don't know how I came up with Taiwana.
Yeah, they looked at a country. So if we go through this, before we give our little scores here, the Rotten Tomato rankings, it's a 61 and a 69. Seems like critics and audience really agree on this. Stace, 0 to 10, favorite scenes, least favorite scenes?
Favorite scene has to be him singing. Least favorite scene has to be anytime Julia Stiles talked about something stupid. Rating, I'm going to have to go. I gave 6.4 based on IMDb on the last movie that I didn't watch, so I'm going to give this an 8.
Brianna?
My favorite scene, I also liked the song scene, because I liked the scenery. And plus, I thought it was original. My least favorite, I don't think I have one, because I like the whole movie. I've seen it like 24 times at least. And anytime it's on TV, it's one of those things that you'll watch every time it's on TV. I'm going to give it a 10.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because it
10.
goes with 10 things I hate about you.
Yes. That's more aesthetically pleasing there. No, I really like it. I've always liked this movie, so yeah, a 10. Ding, ding, ding.
Eddie?
I'll give it a 6.5, maybe 7. I'll give it a 7 because it was a good movie. Like, it was really entertaining, but it was just absolutely silly. And the thing that saves it is really I like the actors. I like Julia Stiles. I like Heath Ledger. I like Joseph. Hang on, his name's complicated. Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Larissa Olenek, Larry Miller. I think everybody kind of fit. The cast was good. And it was just entertaining. I can't stress that enough. My high point of the movie was probably when Heath Ledger gets the drill and he just drills the French book. Because that was just ridiculous. I'm like, okay, he's badass. All right, he's cool.
I know there's no safety.
My least favorite is just sometimes it just got way too over the top. Like the teachers hit with an arrow, and that's all it is. Like, the guy's like just they're on the ground like flailing, and nobody's doing anything except them like, oh, okay, he's hurt. Yeah, like fuck it. I'm like, things like that kind of ruined the movie. I mean, ruined the fact that it could have been better.
I'm gonna have to give this an 8. I really like this a lot. I think it's going to be one of those things that, like Brianna was saying, where if it's on TV, I'll just kind of keep it on. I do that a lot with The Breakfast Club, and that was going to be one of these ones that we were going to do, but kind of figured out we might do something else in the future, like a John Hughes thing or something instead. But, yeah, I really liked it a lot. I think I'm going to probably like it more the second time I watch it, too. So, a lot of good points for that. And I don't know about my least favorite part. Probably would have to be... No, see, I don't want to lean towards that either. Maybe there's something in the beginning that, when they're setting up Kat's character, might have, like, thrown me off or something. I can't remember a specific, but I would see it being that. And my favorite part of the movie, I liked pretty much anything that Joseph Gordon-Levitt was doing. I think that he was spot on the entire time. And I thought it was actually kind of interesting, too, that his name in the movie is Cameron James. Little James Cameron. Little reference there. But Heath Ledger, every time he's on the screen, he's great. David Krumholtz, we were talking about, when he's playing up the William Shakespeare thing, that's funny. So I liked the whole thing and stuff like that. So I don't have a favorite scene or a least favorite scene. I'm just going to do that out there, throw that out. Good marks for this one. We're going to continue on here, part 3 with Mean Girls. Follow along with what I said earlier. If you're on iTunes and Stitcher, just sit back and relax, and we'll be right back. And if you're on YouTube, click on the next part, or click back if you haven't checked out Dangerous Minds and didn't get some of the jokes that we were making in this part. So, Mean Girls, part 3, coming up next. We'll see you there. Welcome back to part 3 of the movie club. We are continuing on about the high school films that we have with Mean Girls, 2004 comedy that most people should probably recognize now that we're getting sort of closer to what the modern age brackets and stuff are. This film is also based on a book. All 4 of these movies are based off of books. We didn't plan that. It's based off of Queen Bees and Wannabes. Although not really 100%, because it's more so Tina Fey was like, hey, I read that book. Let's make a whole bunch of funny things about high school. This is really a Tina Fey-driven vehicle, and of course, you've got your SNL elements in there. Lorne Michaels is a producer. You've got Amy Poehler in the film, Anna Gasteyer, and
Tim Meadows.
Tim Meadows, yeah. The reason why one of the characters was cast, Jonathan Bennett, is apparently because Tina Fey was reminded of Jimmy Fallon when they were looking at him. Like, there's a big SNL stamp on this, and that's either a good thing or a bad thing, depending on your perspective of that kind of thing. So, Mean Girls is something that actually has a higher rating Rotten Tomatoes score than anything else that we've got.
It's phenomenal.
Actually, you know what? No, Perks has a better one overall. But
Bullshit.
It is an 85 for the critics and a 66 for the audience. What do you guys think? What was your first impressions of Mean Girls? I'm going to twist this around a little bit. Eddie?
I saw the cast and I was like, well, Lindsay Lohan, so I was like, yeah, it's a chick flick. That was my first impression. Totally.
Brianna?
That's it.
Okay, so when this movie came out, I'm pretty sure I was like a senior in high school or something like that. But I remember liking it a lot. But then again, when I was 18, I liked a lot of stupid things that I will not name. But when I rewatched it, I think it was 2 days ago, or a couple days ago, I rewatched it, and it was just so, I don't know, Tina Fey, whenever I watch anything that she's in, her comedy is just so unrealistic, I guess. It's the only way I can put it. I mean, it was entertaining, but unlike 10 Things I Hate About You, I couldn't identify with any of the high school problems. Like, oh no, you've got this issue. Well, who cares? I don't know. I didn't like it as much, but it was just kind of in the middle, I guess.
Days?
Yeah, I was a big fan of 30 Rock and Parks and Rec, which are heavily influenced by Amy Poehler's Parks and Rec, Tina Fey's 30 Rock, and I'm absolutely in love with Lacey. So when I first picked up this movie, yes, I bought it. I didn't tell anyone because I did feel like this is not a movie that a man should have in his collection. And then after watching it, I am proud to say that I love this movie because these women are hot.
Oh,
and yeah, that's pretty much it. They're hot, and it's funny because
I will refrain from giving an opinion on that.
I assumed I was going to watch this for eye candy, and then actually laughed. So I liked it.
I'm going to piggyback off of what you just said. I have a note. These women are fucking gorgeous, except Lizzie Kaplan.
Yes.
She looks terrible in this movie.
The lesbian.
Which one was that?
She was the best friend, the real dark-haired, bitchy one who's, it's her and the gay guy.
Janice. There we go.
Candace,
yeah.
That's her name? I can't remember.
Janice Ian.
Oh, Janice, that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, she looked really bad in this movie.
Which, that's like, good job, like she was supposed to be. So they did a good job with the makeup and everything. And they turned somebody who is really, really attractive into somebody who's like...
She looked like a younger version of Pamela Adlon.
No idea who that is.
She does the voice of one of the Rugrats, and she was in Californication for like 7 seasons. The whole show, basically.
Was she in the first Rush Hour?
I don't know. I'm looking that up.
Okay.
The one who's the bomb disposal person?
She's Charlie Runkle's wife in Californication. That's the best role that I know her for. Oh shit! I sent you in Portuguese. Oops. I think.
So, Dace, you think Lacey is the top of the line, right?
Absolutely. I fell in love with her when she did Lost in Space, and that movie was terrible.
Who do you think's the best actress of the bunch?
Actress?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Rachel McAdams because I would hope she's not that much of a bitch.
Exactly the notes that I have down.
If she's really that much of a bitch, then that's just typecasting.
I literally...
No, she's done other movies where she's totally the opposite, and she's a great actress.
My notes down for the 3 things that you just mentioned, I have down Lacey Chabert is the hottest, but Rachel McAdams is the best actress of the bunch. And then there's a note about what happened with the production of this whole thing. Lindsay Lohan was originally going to be Regina, but she decided, I don't want to play the mean girl because that might hurt my career.
Oh God, the irony.
So they went with Rachel McAdams, and I think it was the director, it might have been one of the producers, I can't remember right now off the top of my head, and write that down. Somebody was like, well, you got to get a nice girl to be the mean girl. So that's why they put Rachel McAdams in there.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think Lindsay Lohan could have actually pulled off playing that kind of a more dramatic role, if you will, than just being like, oh, nice and like, hey guys, I'm the new girl and what's up? And
now I'll give her credit. I think she wasn't that bad in this.
No, she wasn't bad. It's just I don't think she could have pulled off a Regina George.
No, she wouldn't have.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it was the casting was fine for this movie.
I think overall, I mean, a lot of the people were screen testing for different types of characters. Like Amanda Seyfried, she didn't go in there originally to play the character that she played and stuff like that. Apparently, Lacey was the first and like only choice that they had for what's her name in there?
Karen.
Something Wieners, right? Yeah.
Oh, Gretchen.
Gretchen Wieners. So they got their first choice with that and stuff like that. But I'll give Lindsay Lohan credit. Much better than what I've seen her in a lot of other things.
Yeah, this is her best movie as far as I'm concerned.
One thing I didn't like about this movie, though, the voiceover work.
Shit, you think I would have noticed that because I always notice that stuff.
Yeah, Lindsay Lohan throughout the whole film, it's just kind of like, oh, my first day is whatever, and I really like.
Oh,
this
that stuff. I thought you meant like ADR and stuff.
No, not just like the sound design, but the actual like storytelling mechanism.
Narrating. Yeah, I agree.
Did not like it a whole lot, and it really didn't help out all that much either. Like, you could have shown things on screen and not had to tell me about it. What about
I really liked the gay guy. What's his name? Damien. Do you guys remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Francesi.
Yes. He was funny, especially that scene where he was in the girls' bathroom and he's just washing his hands. Just like
yeah, oh my God, Danny DeVito, I love your work.
Yeah. And, now they have that, everybody's suing over it. We can't let a guy in the girls' bathroom. Like, well, they did it in Mean Girls. He didn't get sued.
I've been to the girls' bathroom before. No big deal.
And I've been in the men's bathroom plenty of times, only because someone was in the girls' bathroom. But, I don't know.
You remember the South Park episode where Cartman feigns some sort of handicap so that he can get a special bathroom for himself?
I don't remember that episode.
It was from last season. It was hilarious. And then I think Jimmy and Timmy start using it, and then he gets pissed off.
I want my own bathroom. That's cool.
Oh, no. He pretended he was cross-gendered to get his own bathroom. There you go.
There's a lot of characters that stand out in this where they're, a side character, but they make kind of an impression. Kevin, the mathlete rapper. He's awesome. I love that character.
He is. I heard that he was originally supposed to be, like, the character was supposed to be an Asian guy. But when they saw that actor, they had to rewrite it around him. So that whole character was written to keep that actor. Huh. He was really good.
Actually, technically, Kevin Kapoor is Indian, so he's still Asian.
To what?
You're talking about the math guy?
Yeah, his name was supposed to be something else, and then they changed it to Kevin Kapoor so he could be an Indian guy.
Yeah, they were going for a different type of Asian.
They wanted
Asian minor.
Just India equals Asia. Just I had an Indian roommate, and he was just like totally like, dude, I'm totally Asian, man. Like, I don't know why they say like that Asians are just like Chinese and Korean and stuff.
That's
and I'm
a
like,
terrible impression.
I don't know how to do it. Fuck it.
They want an Eastern Asian person.
Yeah.
Every culture hates everybody on this podcast between Dangerous Minds and things I hate about you and this.
Yeah, I will not give my opinion on the looks of the ladies on this one.
Oh, why not?
No. I will go too far.
I have no comment.
You don't need
exactly. We have a lady, in the panel. So,
you mean to tell me you're not going to tell me who the hottest is, Brianna?
I wouldn't imagine. Brianna, why don't you?
Flint. It's Neil Flint. Say Neil Flint.
I talked about my unhealthy obsession with Heath Ledger. That's as far as I can go.
And Neil Flint.
But I will say that I think that Lindsay Lohan is ugly.
Oh, duh.
Now, then, or both?
Both. She's just, I don't know.
This is the best she's ever looked, I think.
Trap girl.
Damn it.
She went
so
downhill
annoying.
after this.
I want to speak, but I will not.
So here's a little note that I wrote down that I don't know if you guys paid attention to, but it bugged me so much. There's a whole running thing where she's got to wear pink. So she's wearing a pink polo. Okay.
I want my pink shirt back.
What's that?
What? I just quoted the movie. You don't remember that?
I didn't hear what you said. I just heard...
I want my pink shirt back.
Oh. The weird thing about this...
It was the guy, right? The gay guy.
The weird thing about this, though, is she's wearing the pink polo, and it's something that stands out, but it goes on for way too long in the movie, to the point where they're in math class twice. They go to the mall twice, and they hang out at the house of Regina's house, all the plastics, and it's supposed to be one day. So wait, they went to math class, went to all their other classes, went back to math, went to the mall, hung out at her house, went back to the mall again, and it's not even night.
Maybe it was another Wednesday.
Maybe, I don't know. It just seemed really weird to me, like that they couldn't.
Well, I mean, the movie spans on almost a whole year.
Yeah.
So,
But
They
it's
could
just
totally
like
skip a
there
day.
was no transition to it. Like she didn't change into something else and then go back to wearing that again. It threw me off so much because I was just like, where is the placement in this? And I don't know if it's a deleted scene that kind of like separates it. I don't know if it's something that they didn't even pay attention to. Like they were just like, let's just film, because I didn't pay attention to what the other people were wearing.
Yeah,
at the
no,
same time
it's
either.
probably an editing error.
Most likely. But that threw me off. And that was one of the times in the movie where I was just kind of like, this isn't as high like of attention to detail as I was kind of hoping that it would be. Not that these films are supposed to be like, Oscar winning or whatever, but I was really starting to lose this film at that point. And then the constant voiceover work was something that was bugging me, and I didn't like the two friends that much, Lizzie Kaplan's character and Daniel Franzese.
You didn't like them?
I wasn't too into them because they were like weird for the sake of weird.
They would have been good in the Perks of Being a Wallflower.
That's true.
Maybe a little overbearing. I mean, we'll get to that when we get to it. But
they're almost. They are perfect for that kind of environment.
But I gotta say, one of my favorite parts about this movie is one of the very opening lines when he's talking about Tim Meadows is talking about my nephew Anthony. He's just mad that the kid's name's Anthony. It's like, all right. I like Tim Meadows. He's winning me over here. Always liked him on SNL.
He's funny, yeah.
Something that I'm going to spoil a little bit here for when I say my favorite scenes and least favorite scenes and stuff like that. Do you guys feel the same way that I do, that there are a couple really cheap jokes? Like, did she need to be Gretchen Wieners? Or when they're doing the voiceover and they're walking really slowly and Lindsay Lohan falls into a trash can. I'll say this over and over and over again. My least favorite type of a joke is slapstick, where it's just like, wouldn't it be funny if they fell?
Well, I figured that was just her name, Gretchen Wieners. I didn't think they were trying to make a joke out of it. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Well, I got a little bit to back me up here. That scene where they burst in and she's making out with that other kid, I think his name's like Kevin or something. Oh, no, that's Kevin. Kevin's the rapper guy. Who's the other guy? The kid who tries to say, you ever get your muffin buttered?
Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I can't think. The one that Gretchen was like super
Oh,
into.
right.
Jason is his name. The scene where she is making out with him and they get caught. Originally, she was supposed to be giving him a blowjob. So that's probably why they named her Gretchen Wieners.
Huh. That's interesting.
And I mean, it's just kind of like, why don't you name a character like Jimmy Boobs or something? It's like,
Jimmy Tits.
But that's actually another one of my least favorite jokes in the whole thing. The dog chewing on A.B. Poehler's boobs. Didn't make me laugh.
I mean, you think that
here's
if
the
a dog
thing.
chewed on those things, it would, like, rupture it. You don't let dogs chew on your plastic surgery work.
Maybe
Here's the thing about the movie. Here's the thing about the movie. It could have. I mean, it had the potential to be an actual, a real movie. Like if it had not been comedy, if it had made a drama, this movie might have actually made some sort of history. Like,
That's
wow,
true.
that one movie where where the four girls are really mean and they actually do like mean stuff and
And they learn.
they turn an innocent girl. The innocent girl has to become that in order to survive the whole social pressure stuff. And they could have made a really good movie, but they fucked it up. They fucked it up big time with this bullshit SNL stuff. And
See, I
Lindsay
don't mind-
Lohan.
I don't mind
Lindsay
it being a
Lohan would have been.
comedy.
No, I fucking hate Tina Fey. I mean, she's all right in her 30 Rock stuff and Saturday Night Live. But this movie had potential. That's why I saw it. When I saw the shitty jokes, I was like, oh no, man. And Lindsay Lohan, I think she could have, maybe she could have, who knows, man? Maybe she would have turned her life around. If this movie had been a serious movie, she would have been offered like credible roles. She wouldn't have been just a pretty face to put on some dumb, like, kids movie or whatever. You never, it's just, the other actresses went out to do great stuff. Rachel McAdams is great. Amanda Seyfried is great. I don't know about Lacey Chabert much, but
She's
the
phenomenal.
cast is really good, except for the Saturday Night Live stuff. Tim Meadows is fine, but the stupid slapstick stuff. I mean, they accidentally went with let's make a chick flick for teenage girls kind of thing. it was just they fucked it up so bad. This had a lot of potential.
Now, Dace, what you said that you love the movie, you find it a lot funnier than you thought you were going to, and stuff like that. Do you tend to like the jokes that are like that, or are those just kind of the ones that are like, yeah, they're not that funny, but the rest of it is?
Well, you know better than these guys on the panel do because we tried to do a comedy group. I thrive on slapstick. When I get hurt, people laugh their ass off. So I have the Chris Farley tendency. So when people fall in trash cans and when they do stupid jokes like that, I die laughing. I'm a child. I have a pea-sized brain and I laugh at stupid things. Get me a fart machine. I'll walk around the mall and just keep making people fart. That's what I do.
Yeah, I'll admit, fart machines are funny.
Right?
Because farts are always funny.
It's just a movie that I just found myself on, like, just the one-liners and the quips and just the shit they're saying to each other. It's like, yeah, I say that shit to people I know. And I walk into shit all the time. I have lived in my house for 12 years, and I will never figure out the hallway into my bedroom because every time I come out, I clip it. If they move the house 2 centimeters left, I'll never hit the wall. But for whatever reason, I clip it on the way out. So yeah, I laugh at that shit all the time.
What's your standout joke? Like the funniest one that you fucking died.
Off the top of my, the rapper at the Geek Fest thing, anytime he was on the screen, I died laughing. Mainly because of one friend that I know that we have, and I just thought of him. So anytime I saw it, I went, nom, nom, nom. That's funny.
I know who you're talking about now.
So, I mean, a lot of the stuff that makes me laugh the hardest at movies is when I relate to things. If you know me as a person, if you see me on the street, if you talk to me, if you know why I'm doing fantasy football right now, it's because I saw something on TV and I'm going to try and recreate that in my life. And then usually it does not come anywhere near what it's like on TV. And then it's funnier. So I take those moments and relate them to what happens to me. And a lot of that stuff in high school, yeah, it makes sense, and it's stuff that had happened. So anytime they would say like a joke about like, oh, she's a whore or something, I know whores, so I laugh.
Who would you identify the most with when it comes to the film? Like, where would you be placed, kind of, if you had to be one of these characters?
Sadly, I'd probably be the fat gay guy. I'm not gay. I am a little fat, but I mean, I make jokes like that and fire back at people really sarcastic and snotty-like. And I never really was a part of the type of popular clique, so I was the guy that everybody knew, but at the same time just was fucking weird. And that's how I identify with him. That or Neil Flynn, because I just associate him with the janitor from Scrubs.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
I was surprised when he popped up. I was just kind of like, yes, Neil Flynn's in this. I hope he does a bunch of shit.
But he wasn't sarcastic.
Oh, no.
As I would have hoped.
And, to be honest, that's probably 50% as to why I picked up the movie to begin with. Neil Flynn was in it. So it's like 50% really hot chicks, 50% the janitor's in a movie. I have to see this. The only reason I bought Indiana Jones 4, I haven't seen the other 3, but I bought Indiana Jones 4 because Neil Flynn's in it.
Brianna, what are your thoughts on how it portrays women in this? Did you experience any of this kind of stuff in high school?
No. My high school was really nice. We did, like, our junior year, everybody voted for, like, the class nerds for homecoming corp. We didn't have, our queen bee up there. We had a really nice high school. And I was not part of any of these cliques. I couldn't relate to any of it at all. I felt really bad. But I don't know. If there are girls out there that are really mean like this, it's horrible. But I never met one. I've never met a mean girl, I guess. Maybe I was the mean girl. I don't know.
Hey, you know what? A lot of times when this happens sometimes, like, inevitably, because of all the movies and all the stuff that comes out of America, people ask me, man, is America really like this? Are people really like this in America in high school and stuff? And I'm like, dude, not really. But I do remember one thing. I don't know if it's because I was in a brat school with a bunch of military kids, but, oh man, here comes another lawsuit. They were assholes, man. Like, the younger, the more assholes. Like, the high school kids were fine. Like, they were nice and stuff. And, they had some sort of volunteer work in school. And the more metalhead, the older, the nicer the kids were. It was weird. But in my class, everybody was a fucking asshole.
See, I gotta say,
I don't know why.
I know what they were going for with some of these, but I never, I can't pick apart certain people that were the plastics, and I can't pick apart. especially who were the cool Asians. I always liked that group in this. That was one of my
That's
favorite
probably
jokes.
me.
The cool Asians group.
Cool Asian.
I could pick
But
out
I do
something.
not sleep with Coach Carr.
I could pick out some that slept with one of the coaches too. So I'm very identifiable with this movie.
You're gonna have to text me those.
Yeah, it was me. I slept with Coach Blackinson.
So my math teacher in high school, he did get fired because he was partying with us. So maybe that's our Coach Carr.
There's your Coach Carr. I wish we would have had a principal like Tim Meadows.
Oh, we had some really angry little dwarf.
He's just kind of like, oh, my carpal tunnel's back.
Oh.
Which apparently that wasn't a joke written in the whole thing. That was just something there. He broke his hand before they filmed. So they just needed to have him in a cast. And it was just like, what do we make a joke about? Carpal tunnel, you know? I dug that. I think I would have liked a Tina Fey if I would have had a teacher like that in high school. I also got a little bit of
I had such a hot
She's
teacher.
an inspirational
I had a hot teacher
teacher.
in high school.
I had some inspirational teachers, but I never had one that was hot.
Yeah, me neither.
I'll tell you what, though. Having a hot teacher is kind of weird because you don't pay attention to what you're supposed to.
Oh, my brother swears to God there's one there that still wants him to this day. And I just remind him that, hey, you're Justin. Nobody wants you.
Oh.
Wow.
You caught one. You stick with that. You stick with her. No teacher wanted you. You didn't. You came to school 4 days out of your 4-year career. So there's no way that she would want you. So.
Wow, that's fucked up.
So what do you guys think about the idea that they twisted this at the end with Regina gets hit by a bus, of all things?
Again, like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. There was no need for such a little slapstick. I get it, right? Okay, they made it a comedy movie. That's fine. But why make it so dumb? Like, they could have made it a little more intelligent. Like, Regina gets hit by a bus. Like, ugh.
I died laughing.
That was so random. That was just so random. Yeah, I get it. It's just, ugh.
And that's magically changed her somehow.
Yeah. Like, oh, I'm a new person.
Well, I know a few people that need to get hit by a bus now. If that gives you a life-changing...
That rarely changes. That rarely changes anyone.
Are any of them on the panel?
No.
Is it
3 of them?
Hopefully not. No.
So let's go around here one more time. Let's talk about some favorite and least favorite parts and our ratings 0 to 10. I already kind of went through mine, so I'm going to just throw my rating out there. 5.5. I was disappointed.
Sorry.
Now, I do like this better than Dangerous Minds, and maybe I would bump it up to a 6. Kind of depends. I wrote that right after I got done watching it, where I was expecting it to like it more. So if I went back and watched it again, I might give it a little bit of a boost up, but no, it doesn't match up with 10 Things I Hate About You as far as I'm concerned. Days, I know that you're on a much higher end of this. What would you give it? What are some things that we didn't talk about that you want to bring up?
I'd give it an 8.5. 2 favorite scenes. One where Lindsay Lohan starts trying to turn the Regina's 2 friends against her, and they're just stupid, beyond stupid. And as she's trying to explain, like, anytime Lindsay tried to explain something to those two, it made me giggle. And the second favorite part of it is when they're all in Santa outfits. That went into the memory bank for Lonely Nights. And
memory bank, right?
Huh?
Not the other type of bank?
Yeah, okay. It's a personal one. Rhymes with bank. Starts with SP. So, the least favorite thing probably would have to be anything that tried to teach me something. I don't want to learn lessons when I watch movies. I know what I'm supposed to do as a person. I choose to ignore it. And you have no idea how hard it is to ignore morals and things like that to be a person that I am today. So, stop trying to teach me stuff, movies.
Brianna, what's your rating, and what are the other things you want to bring?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 6. Because even though it was kind of stupid, the acting was still really good. You know, Rachel McAdams did a really awesome job. And then, of course, Tim Meadows, I liked him. And then Damien, my favorite. Least favorite part of the movie... I don't know. There were just so many scenes I thought it could do without. but I did really like Damien and all of his scenes and his infamous Glen Coco scene. That's just something, like, you can just say Glen Coco to somebody and they'll know exactly what you're talking about. And, yeah, 6. But probably more of a 6 because it has that sort of nostalgic factor to it. Because, you know, it's been around for so long and I've seen it quite a few times. And that's all.
Eddie, what are the other things that you want to talk about with Mean Girls, and what is your rating 0 to 10?
Well, this podcast has been offensive enough, so I'm not going to say what my high point of the movie was. However, I'll say that the low point was just the awful comedy. It didn't fit. It was a wasted script. I think it was a wasted opportunity because the cast was really good. I think Brianna said it well. I think the actors were great. They did what they had to and more. Because of that, I give the movie a 4. I'll give it a lot lower, but I saw the potential and what it could have been, and I think 4 is fine.
I'm going to assume that your favorite part is when that woman says that she's got a wide set vagina.
No, my favorite part is actually, technically it's not...
She can't help it, she has a wide set vagina.
I suppose, but no, that's nothing to do with it.
It's the Santa outfits. I'm telling you, they're amazing.
No, it's to do with the cast. It's the girls.
Dirty thoughts?
Go there. Not that dirty. Define dirty. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's maybe not conservative. You know what I mean?
Tony, what's our rating? Is it X?
What, for the podcast?
Yeah.
I don't think we have a rating. Or YouTube.
Okay. It's really dirty then. So, I mean, if we could do a whole sideshow of what I'm thinking. My brain is a nightmare.
Yeah, we totally could, man. Because I mean, I would give a finger to do what I want to do.
Oh, I
would give my right ring finger. I'll give my right ring.
I thought you meant you wanted to do something with your finger. I don't know.
No,
That's the way
I'll give my right ring finger to what I want.
That's the way that she'll take it too.
I'll use the whole damn hand. I just
Plus, it'll match Assassin's Creed, which is cool.
Before this gets too crazy, we're going to end this part. And we're going to continue on with our final section for this episode of the Movie Club, which is going to be the perks of being a wallflower in part 4. Check us out in the next part. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the final part of the For Real Movie Club. We've gone through Dangerous Minds. We've talked about 10 Things I Hate About You. We talked about Mean Girls, and we are on the final section here, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Now, this is a 2012 film that's not only written and directed by Steven Chbosky. Probably not saying that correctly, but it sounds like that's right. He also wrote the novel. Yes, all 4 of these movies based off of novels, and this is the situation where the guy wrote the novel, the screenplay, and directed the film. So if anybody's going to know how to translate something, it's going to be the writer. And
correction, just quick correction. 10 Things I Hate About You was based on a play, right?
Oh, yeah. That's true. Yeah.
There you go.
Technically, yeah.
Because in The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Paul Rudd's character says that Shakespeare never wrote novels. Ha!
Aha!
I learned something. See, Chris Dace, you gotta learn shit. You gotta learn your shit, man.
Oh, I learned nothing at all whatsoever.
You know nothing, Chris Dace.
I couldn't make it to this. Sorry.
So that's your first impression is you shut it off.
Oh, okay, so let's see. If I wrote a book, and that book sucked, and then I went and said, hey, I'm going to direct a movie and produce it, it's still a turd. So...
You can't cover a turd.
Yeah, like I made a dookie in the toilet and then took it to Hollywood and just threw it at the screen. And everybody's like, oh, this is great. It's a hipster. Oh, God, it's this movie. This movie. I couldn't get through. It's so, like, I don't care. I hate, that's so bad. I hate it. It hurts my brain.
Yeah.
So I wonder which is going to be his least favorite film in the whole thing.
The first one. Stand By Me.
Eddie, what was your first impression of Perks of Being a Wallflower?
I just wanted to see Emma Watson, and I ended up with this is one of my favorite movies ever.
Of all time?
No!
Yeah, I promise you. I'm giving this movie a 10 already.
What? Wow.
I can relate to it. Dude, I'm sorry. I can totally relate to it. That's the thing.
So we got 2 opposite ends of the spectrum. Brianna, what do you think?
Well, I'm conflicted.
Come to the dark side.
You guys are going to have to persuade me one way or the other. Okay, first off, Emma Watson. I love her. I loved her in Harry Potter. but I could not see her as a slutty slut bag that she was in this movie. So it was hard to get to that side. But on the other end, the main character, the guy, I forgot his name, Charlie.
Logan Lerman's character?
Yeah. He was a really well-developed character. Just the whole depression and suicide stuff. I thought it was really good. And it's a really good teen movie, but it was really long. It's a really long movie. I got kind of bored towards the end, but I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle.
See, I kind of look at it as this is a movie that I thought I was going to really, really hate, kind of the way that Dace does. I don't like hipstery kind of things. If there's a person that comes out there and it's like, I'm so different, but it's good that I'm different because that makes me special. Usually I go, no, you're fucking weird, and you're forced to be different because you're weird. Like, I have had so many arguments about, like, gothy people and that kind of stuff. So, the idea of The Perks of Being a Wallflower to me is just kind of like, But, that being said, I liked the movie. I liked it quite a bit. And I was surprised at how much I liked certain characters and some other characters that I didn't like. And, we're going to get into casting and stuff like that. We just talked a little bit about it, but let's continue on with that thread. Main character is Charlie, played by Logan Lerman, who I don't think I've seen him in anything before. But I've heard his name thrown around constantly when it comes to, like, fan casting. Oh, he'd be a great Spider-Man. He'd be great for this. He'd be a great Nightwing or Tim Drake or whatever like that. Never really knew exactly what the, validity of that was. I like this kid now. He won me over. And in particular, he won me over in the scene where he's high and he just flat out throws out there, yeah, my friend shot himself. I was just like, whoa. Huh. Okay. Shit, this kid's a good actor, and I didn't see this coming. And I felt bad for the kid. Like, throughout the whole film, I actually wasn't hating on him like I thought that I would. At the very beginning of the movie, I'm sitting there thinking, this is going to be one of those pushover type of kids where I'm just like, stand up for your fucking self, god damn it. But I bought into it. I really liked Charlie. That's every character of this whole thing, I boiled down to, I liked Charlie the best. What do you guys think? What was your favorite character? I know this is a struggle for you, Dace, but did you like any of them?
Well, no, I can tell you who I hate the most.
All right, tell me who you hated the most then.
Charlie, you little bitch. God, I know this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, and I'm sure, if there's a video that goes down, and it's going to be done. I was rooting for him to kill himself, too. He would have been with his best friend again.
Everybody hates us.
Yeah, the movie would have been over a lot quicker if he had just, 30 minutes said, I'm done. Or take a great twist and become Casper. Be fun.
That would have been great, man.
The Perks of Being a Friendly Ghost.
I feel like it's very hard for me to get into a movie that's drama and romance, and just it was so bad. I didn't like it because I don't know. I just didn't like it, and it's because of the hipster vibe. Like this is where it specifically defines me as a person that I'm a dick and do not care about these people.
I'd say if it wasn't Charlie, then my other favorite character is Paul Rudd's character, the teacher. Did you hate him?
See, I don't even remember him in it. I didn't get very far because this whiny ass just, oh God. So bad. And then fake Flash. I walked into this with a chip on my shoulder because he shouldn't be Flash anyway, so that's kind of...
Yeah, Ezra Miller is going to be the Flash.
So I had a huge chip on my shoulder when I walked into this anyway. So, I mean, I'm sure if I watched it all the way through, I probably would like Paul Rudd. I never hate Paul Rudd. How can you hate Paul Rudd? It's Paul Rudd. Love that man.
I love Paul Rudd.
See, he's cool. How can you hate Paul Rudd?
Do you have an unhealthy obsession?
I do. I have an unhealthy old man obsession with Paul Rudd.
So who was your favorite character? Hey, for the fact of that, your least favorite too. Brianna.
What? Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I really liked Charlie. I thought his character was really complex, but I don't know. out of all of the movies, I think I identified high school wise with this one most, but probably because I was so weird in high school. So I really like Charlie. I didn't care much for Sam, and I think I already explained why before, just because her character was so different from what I normally see her as. I had a hard time crossing that threshold with her. And
yeah, I kind of agree with you. I don't really see her as being like the big slut.
No, she just needs to be a nice girl. She needs to stay in nice girl territory. And then, yeah, Paul Rudd. I really like him, but I like anything that he's in. So you can't go wrong with Paul Rudd.
Eddie, what about you? What are your favorite and least favorite characters?
Yeah, I think Charlie was probably the best. He's very credible, you know, he's very real. And as far as the worst, I don't know. I don't really care for maybe Joan Cusack.
Oh, I always hate Joan Cusack.
Yeah, exactly. I can't, like, I don't want to hate her. It's just,
there's something about
I don't
her.
hate her. I don't hate her. It's just, you don't strike me as somebody who should be in a movie. You know what I mean?
No, I know what you're talking about, because Joan Cusack in every movie to me kind of has that feeling. Like, I would have liked the character better if it wasn't Joan Cusack, and she doesn't necessarily do a bad job or anything like that. It's just there's something that irks me about her. So it's probably the same thing for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I gotta say my least favorite character, because I said, you know, to my two favorite characters. Least favorite, Nina Dobrev's pussy boyfriend. He is such a tool. The whole, the mixtape cover's hand-painted. Fuck you, dude. I hate people like that so much.
Right? Oh, God, those people.
And the college douchebag, poetry writes me.
Jesus Christ. That's fucking lame.
But see, that's actually one of the things I liked about this movie was that those two characters, who are my least favorite types of people, like, I mean, there's a lot of other people that I hate. You know, I hate people that are mean to dogs. I hate people that are hypocrites. I hate people that
Sure, but do you see why this movie is so awesome? Like, the people are so real.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you can bring out, you know, you could do a movie about racism, and it's like, yeah, racist people are terrible. Or you could do a movie about, like,
Nazis.
Nazi oppression or something like that, and to be like, yeah, they're terrible people and stuff like that. But very rarely are you able to pull off, these are normal people that are just annoying as shit. And when you see people like the chubby, well, she's not like fat or anything, but like the best friend who's a Buddhist, who's
Mae
kind
Whitman?
Is that her name? Mae Whitman?
Yeah, the actress, yeah. Mary
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Yeah. Her type of character, I'm just like, oh, I hate her so much because I know people like her. The whole, I'm a Buddhist and I'm going to date this guy in college who's deep and has intellectual debates, so I'm going to start wearing my glasses now. And oh man, that made me crack up seeing her character, because I was just like, that's so fucking dead on. I know so many people that are like that, and all of them fall into the same stereotypes.
Again, this is what you don't see movies like this very often, like where they just capture a perfect social study on what people are really like. Because Charlie is kind of like this epicenter of, despite his whole troubled, you know, past and stuff, it's just this epicenter of where he just watches. He does nothing. He just watches. Everybody else is doing something though. Everybody else is being a stereotype or not, or trying to be weird or something, but he's just observing. It's like really he, you know, and according to the study, according to the story, he goes on and writes a book, and it's kind of like we're in the book already. He's just narrating. He's not really that active in it.
Yeah, it's easy to put yourself in Charlie's shoes. But
totally.
I loved how they played around with those kind of characters. I thought that was great. We talked a little bit about music for different parts, like the Gangsta's Paradise stuff, and we talked about the singing scene with Heath Ledger, and we didn't really talk about music when it came to Mean Girls, but that's, you know, it's not a big thing of that. I gotta say, a nitpicking part for me, one of my least favorite parts of the movie, and it's really one of the things that helped make the whole story, So I should have, hated this because of it. The tunnel.
Dude, I totally fucking get it. I totally get it.
Does
Fucking
that
brilliant.
resonate with you, or do you?
Yes,
do you mean
it does.
you get
Because
it?
I mean, I get it because like here's the thing. I romanticized a lot about like the perfect moment with the perfect girl and the perfect whatever. When I was in high school, because I was always like moving around a lot. Like every 2 years or so, I'd be in a different school or so much, and to finally have find a couple of people that you really enjoy being with. And then this magic moment where you kind of, you're either a little drunk or high. I never got high, but whatever. And then your friends are just driving and you're going nowhere. You just fuck it. Let's just go, then you're blasting your favorite song on the radio. And then for some reason you just decide you want to take a picture of that moment and you're never going to forget it. That feels so fucking good.
See, now,
I mean,
this is where I get my criticism for. I know the moment, and seeing it on screen of what somebody else's moment is, I couldn't connect to it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I didn't necessarily connect to that particular action going on with, spreading your arms in a tunnel.
Right.
But I'm sure you get a rush from it. Yeah, it's cool and all. It's just, to capture that in a movie is not easy. The credibility is also very hard to catch. And I still think they did it.
Brianna, are you more on Eddie's side of things where you've kind of felt the moment, or are you more on me where he's like, I feel infinite, and you're like, that's kind of lame, and this music sucks?
Well, I don't know. No, actually, I think I'm more on Eddie's side.
Tequila. Feel infinite, always.
Yeah, I don't know. The movie brought back a lot of my own high school nostalgia, so I felt it. I don't know, I connected a lot with this movie.
Did you get to that part, Dace?
Probably not.
Because you have to go quite a ways in.
Is it where he grabs the sled and father tells him not to go out too late because it was getting cold and it was getting dark?
And then he turns
He
into
still
a
did
ghost.
it anyway. Yes, I think that's where I was at.
And then there's a wolf.
Oh yeah, that might have been it. There's a machine, Lazarus machine. There, he's trying to come back, and Pullman.
And then Venkman comes.
Wasn't Robin Williams a bum in that one?
I think he was a general, like Roosevelt. I might be off.
No, you're right. He was a general. He got all the kids together to stand up on their desk.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
We're talking about the movie One Crazy Summer.
I've never seen that movie.
I thought we were talking about The Notebook.
I thought we were talking about Casper.
All of the above.
Yeah.
Who?
We can talk about whatever we want to be talking about.
The one crazy notebook that Casper wrote about being a wallflower. Society.
So yeah, it was a great tunnel. It was one of those fake ones where they paint on the wall and you run into it. It doesn't happen. Looney Tunes.
Like Acme Tunnel comes in a box.
Damn Roadrunner can go through it, but the fucking Wile E. Coyote couldn't make it. Bullshit. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the oppression of coyotes. And then we'll be good to go.
Let's talk about something from the movie.
Let's ignore Days and move on.
Yeah.
I like it.
With the movie being written and directed and the screenplay being written by the same guy, I think that probably had a lot to do with how well the critics liked this movie and how well people responded to it. Because it's very rare that you see a author get to write the screenplay. I mean, I think Gillian Flynn got to do it with Gone Girl. That's really the only other movie I can think of where an author has gotten to write the screenplay. Because, I mean, you know the characters, you know how it needs to be portrayed. So it probably had a lot to do with how well they received it.
And to direct it, too.
Oh, yeah, directing. I mean, God.
So, you get rid of that director influence on top of it.
Yeah, I don't know who this guy is, but he's talented, whoever he is.
I don't know if I've seen him in anything else. He sounds like the type of guy that I've heard of before, but actually, looking at his...
Most writers have these weird names, so they all sound the same.
It's probably not his real name.
Yeah, let's find out.
The IMDb page for him, bring that up right now. Apparently he's been involved in a couple of different movies that I've never heard of whatsoever.
Oh, Jericho. Okay.
Yeah, Jericho I've never seen.
Rent.
It's not bad. Jericho's pretty good.
What were you saying, Days?
He did Rent as a screenplay writer, and it looks like he's going to be involved with the new the Divergent series with Katniss Everdeen. I should stop. I shouldn't be
with Casper.
With Casper, I shouldn't be in a movie called. This is crazy.
Going through my list of notes here, a couple standout scenes that popped up to me. The breakup scene with Patrick and the fight in the cafeteria. I like that scene quite a bit. It was a good way for Charlie to stand up. That's actually one of my favorite parts of the whole movie. He fucked those other kids up, and I felt so happy for him that he actually kind of like let loose and, you know, went a little crazy, won everybody back, and stood up for his friend and all that. You guys like that scene?
I like
Sure,
that scene.
definitely.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember it.
It's after Patrick has had that instance with his boyfriend, its dad.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I know where it's at. That was a good scene.
Another one of my favorite scenes is actually just even the line itself. We accept the love we think we deserve.
Dude, that totally hit the nail on the head.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
The other line, I'm trying to find it that I had on my notes right here. Another line that yeah, here it is, that I thought was a really good one. A little bit more of the movie magic kind of thing, but it makes a lot of sense. It sounds like the type of thing that I would say to somebody because I'm a little bit dramatic when it comes to that kind of crap, but I want the first person who kisses you to love you. I like that a lot. That's not a direct one. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was Sam saying that to Charlie, kind of giving a little bit of a justification for, like, your first should be great. That kind of a thing. I like that. Nice little movie touch that I wish that would be a moment that people could experience in real life.
Yeah, man.
Usually
Totally.
that moment just makes you bitter as fuck 10 years later.
A little bit. You know, that's what's weird about this. When we were going back and watching these movies, I've been in a very nostalgic mood lately. And I've been thinking a lot about high school and stuff, just because, you know, we see a whole bunch of people starting school now, and it just, you know, comes up in your mind. Every once in a while you see new people get married or whatever like that. And I'm kind of like, man, I wish I could go back and do high school again. And I liked high school. Like, you know, I had a lot of fun. Some stuff sucked, but it's that whole, if I knew then what I know now kind of thing.
You can make it a lot better.
Oh, it would be the best fucking thing ever. Like, it pisses me off. So that's why I like watching a movie like this, because you can see from other people's perspective that a lot of it's the same. And when you translate the characters, like the Mary Elizabeth character and stuff, and I'm like, that's funny that, like, Charlie's going through this part of the film where he's totally unrequited love. He doesn't know how to get into the relationship and stuff. And I'm like, man, I know I've been in a situation like that before. And if he could only know that this is how you get away with it, then, like, it's so good. I love that about this. A lot of stuff like that resonated with me, but big question that I had with this, and maybe I'm just dumb, I don't know, so you guys got to fill me in if I'm just a complete idiot.
42.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yep.
Shit.
End of conversation. Thank you for joining us tonight. We had a great time.
Though he's writing a letter, and I'm assuming he's supposed to be writing that to his dead friend, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it is.
Did they ever reveal why the friend killed himself?
You read the novel?
No, they always kept that suspense.
I just figure it's because he was like a depressed teenager.
Like, is the friend somebody that he met through counseling?
It's never made clear. It's just, you know, it's a friend. That's all you need to know. It was his best friend, and that killed himself, and that I think that's it. Everything else is implied that, yeah, it was a heavy loss, and the reason is trivial because that never really matters afterwards.
Good, I'm not a complete idiot then, because I was like, if they said this in the middle
don't worry
of
about
this,
it.
like, but I was thinking of that the whole time. I'm like, did I miss like one really important line here or something like that?
Maybe we did, but
maybe if people listening to this, if you're listening to it on iTunes or Stitcher or something like that, leave a comment on either YouTube or our Facebook page or anything like that. Did we miss it? If we did, fill us in, because that might change the way that we look at some of this. But we do need to wrap this up and just talk about some of the other little quick things that we need to throw out there. Brianna, favorite scenes, least favorite scenes, overall rating. What do you think?
I'm gonna give it a 7. And I don't really have any favorite or unfavorite scenes. It was all pretty good. I don't know, this one I have, I guess, the least opinion. I have the least amount of opinions on. I don't know why. But, yeah, I'm going to give it a 7. Because it was good. It was really good. It was just really long.
It was only 103 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it just felt longer to me. I watched it at midnight.
That might be that.
Shouldn't dock this for being long. Yeah, I shouldn't. 7.5.
There we go. It gets bumped up an extra 0.5.
Yeah.
Days. I know this is going to be a low score, but I got to ask anyway.
So my high point is the credits. The low point, anything before that. And I'm going to give it a 2.5 because Paul Rudd is worth 2.5 points. So any movie I think that Paul Rudd's in it, add 2.5 to it, and that's the score. That's the Paul Rudd system. So 2.5. If it had been Casper, it would have been an 8.5.
Eddie, what are your thoughts?
For a variety of reasons, I will give it a 10. I thought the screenplay was great. I thought the directing was great. I thought the actors were great. I thought the story was well told. I thought the soundtrack was great. I thought the social study, with the whole high school and college situation, there's a tension there. Like, yeah, he has to say goodbye sooner or later. And I think they did a good job in portraying all of that. The high point is, if I have to choose a scene, it'll probably be where Charlie punched out that jock asshole. And that kind of changed everything. I've always wanted that, like big hero moment in high school. But that was never necessary because, I didn't really get in fights in high school.
You never ended up having to have a big
Yeah, exactly. And there wasn't any group of jocks that deserved a beating. Maybe when I was younger, like when I was like 10, 11, that kind of age, yeah, there were some kids that were fucking assholes. But, yeah, I've always enjoyed that whole triumph, like, don't fuck with me because you'll get yours. The low point, I really can't. I don't know. I want to choose one, but it's kind of hard. I can't think of anything that would be low, Hang on. Did you hear that motorcycle?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You can cut that out. Yeah, I cannot picture a low point. I just, you always wish for the happy ending. And I'm glad this one didn't necessarily have one.
Well, it didn't have like an unhappy ending.
I know, but still, like, you totally want Emma Watson to end up with him. Because, she's like the trophy girl and he's the nice guy and,
Don't they end up together? They're kissing at the end.
So, yeah, but I feel like no. Like, it's just a fling and she's going to go on and do something else. He's going to go on and do something else.
That's true.
You wouldn't write a book about your wife. Like, oh, I ended up with my wife and I'm going to write about our adventures. That's not really how it works. If you wrote a book, so passionately about, your adventures with this and that person, it's probably because you're not with them anymore or they're far away and you rarely see them.
It's like, write about us. I will. The day I met my wife, she said she was a total slut.
Exactly. And honestly, like, Emma Watson is just super awesome in this movie. I don't know, like, everybody was awesome in this movie. Everyone.
So the Rotten Tomatoes scores were an 85 for the critics and an 89 for the audience. Roughly around the same kind of a range that I would give this. I'd give it a 7.5, maybe an 8, depending on my mood, depending on if I would bump up Mean Girls. I have to bump this up too, maybe. Favorite scenes, I mentioned about the fight in the cafeteria. That's definitely up there. Really liked, out of all the, random shots, there's one of Charlie warming his hands by the Luminaria. I just really like the way that they staged that and stuff, No real reason otherwise. It's not like the biggest climactic moment of the whole thing or anything like that, but I just like the visual. Least favorite scenes, I do think that the "I feel infinite" comment is very, on the nose, kind of. I would have rather had something that's a little bit more of a metaphor or something like that, not just "I feel amazing" and, that kind of crap. But that's not my least favorite part. Least favorite thing, and staff member Caitlin's going to hate me for this, I hate everything about the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Hey! Screw you, buddy!
I can't stand that. I've never seen it before, and I never will.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with that thing? It's so popular. It's a part of world cultural heritage, and I'm like, what is this shit? I don't get it. In the movie, it fits because it shows how slack they are and how easygoing they are, and being all
yeah, it makes sense that they would be
with each other and stuff. And it totally shows how close they are. But that Rocky Horror Picture Show thing, I never understood that. It sounds like something that I don't want to watch, because if I do and I don't like it, I'll be like, what the fuck, man?
It's not my thing. I don't get why people like it, but at the same time, that's because it totally is not in tune to my brain. So I can't shit on it because I don't know what the hell it is. But I don't like that I had to watch part of it to watch this movie. So that is my least favorite thing whatsoever about this. I hope I never get a chance to, watch another movie that has that kind of stuff in it or whatever. But grand scheme of things, I do like Perks of Being a Wallflower. I'd probably have to rank these movies based off of the rankings that we did and all that. That Perks of Being a Wallflower and 10 Things I Hate About You stand far above the other two. And then Mean Girls is something that I'm going to have to watch again, and that's probably the one I would recommend to a lot of other people, depending on their sense of humor and stuff like that. I don't think I'd be recommending Dangerous Minds to anybody. But that should do us in for our little review here for these 4 movies. We need to just talk about one more thing left, and that is the plug section, where we promote anything that we need to tell you guys to be aware of that we've got going on in our worlds. Dace, hit us with some of your plugs.
Hey, check out the Daceman Show Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern on megapowersradio.com, and check out the YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/the Daceman Show. Check it out. That's where we upload stuff. That was cool being a panelist. It's fun.
Well, you're going to be back to hosting next month, right?
Yeah. Not going to be as funny or drunk. Or, yeah.
You still might be.
I'll try. Probably not. Probably for the best.
Brianna, anything that you want to promote?
Nope. Eddie's cutting in. So here's how it goes. I would like to take this opportunity to, I'm for real. I want to propose to Emma Watson. I want to marry her, and if she can hear this, Emma Watson, will you marry me?
No.
She said no.
Nope, she didn't say anything. It's not even out yet.
That was a silent no.
Nope, she didn't. Nope, let her hear it. Let her say it.
Oh, God, that was so good. Nope, I'm still hearing no.
Nope, let her say it.
I'm going to go on mute. I can't stop laughing. I'm crying.
I mean, this podcast has been controversial enough, so I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, Brianna, anything you want to...
Nope! I'm going to cut it.
How can I ever top that proposal? No, I cannot.
Alrighty, guys. Well, for my side of things, smarkoutmoment.com is where you're going to find everything on the pro wrestling side of things that I'm involved in. You can check out outonlimbs.com, but honestly, I haven't updated that in a while, so I don't know exactly when I'm going to get around to that, because anytime that I feel like being controversial outside of this podcast, I do the other podcast that we have, the All Talk Show, which you can find on megapowersradio.com live whenever we decide to do that, which is totally sporadic and random. But if you can't catch that live, you can also check us out on our archived editions, which is Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, etc., all at All Talk Show. Make sure you check out all the other things coming your way from fanboysanonymous.com. the review points of any films that we see coming up. Next month, we're going to be going to New York Comic Con. So, of course, we're going to be having footage about that and a little bit of a recap of what we've been doing when it comes to that. We're going to do another movie club. Next month, we're probably going to be doing Wes Craven films because, hey, Halloween, Wes Craven just passed away, unfortunately. Making a whole thing about that. No other horror picture shows, especially Rocky ones.
You bastard.
But
and also next month, Emma Watson answers my proposal.
Yeah, we'll see if that ends up happening. But if anything does end up popping up, of course, you can just check out our Facebook, our Twitter, and our website itself, fanboysanonymous.com, because you will see everything there. And I think that that'll be it for episode 18 of the Movie Club podcast. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you share, subscribe, like, follow, favorite, and everything else like that. We will see you next time, everybody. Thanks for listening.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
I'm too old for this.
Good day, sir!
You stay classy, San Diego.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
I'm finished.
That'll do, Pete. That'll do.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hey, everybody! We're all gonna get laid!
You're still here? It's over. Go home.